Hello, welcome to another edition of the Nightly Newscast.
We are all bundled up, and I hope you are doing the same.
We got some great videos this month, so let's get started. Now we have the Nightly Newscasts, Nightly News Crafts, with McKenna, Riley, and Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly Robert.
And I'm Riley Richard.
Today we are showing you how to make colorful snowflakes in the honor of winter.
The supplies you'll need are coffee filters, a spray bottle with water, markers in any color you want, scissors, paper towels, tape, string, or both.
First, take your coffee filters and color it. You can use any colors you want. It doesn't have to be a specific design.
Once you've colored it, fold the coffee filter in half 2 times so that you have a triangle, and cut any shapes you like along the edges.
Once you're done, unfold it, and you should have a colorful snowflake. If you don't like the way it looks, you can fold it once or twice and cut more shapes.
If you don't have a sink, set the snowflake on the paper towels and spray it with the water. Try to keep it on the paper towel. We recommend using a double layer for this.
If you have a sink, hold your snowflake in the sink and spray it with the spray bottle. Once the snowflake has dried, tape it to a window, door, wall, or wherever you want it. Or tie it with a string and hang it where you want it.
Next up, we have an interview with Mrs. Rodman by Gavin.
Hello, I am Gavin, and today I will be interviewing Mrs. Rodman. So, where do you live?
I live in Macomb, which is like 10 minutes away.
Well,
Cool.
Why did you want to be a teacher?
I like working with students. I feel like middle school especially is the time when you're trying to figure out who you're going to be for the rest of your life. And I feel like as teachers, we have a really special role in helping you figure out who you're going to be, what you believe, and what you want to accomplish.
Okay, so what is special about you?
Wow, that is a hard question. I have 3 boys, and I think they fairly well define who I am. I like a lot of sci-fi, and I like to keep a sense of humor about life.
Why did you choose teaching and another job?
Before I was a teacher, I worked at Warple, and it was a nice job, and I liked everyone that I worked with. But I wanted a job where I could really make an impact and help people out, and that's why I wanted to go into teaching.
Okay. What was the best day of your life?
The best day of my life was when my youngest son Wesley, when he was little, he had cancer, and so there was 3.5 years where he had to go through chemo treatment. And when his chemo was all done, we had a big party. And at the hospital, we went to Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, and they have a big bell there. On your very last day of chemo, you get to go and ring the bell. So for me, that was the best day of my life, was knowing that his cancer treatment was done.
What is your morning routine?
I usually wake up about 5:30. I get up, get ready, I wake my boys up and drag them out of bed, and then we come to school.
Just like my mom.
Is that the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly makes sense.
Really? You don't like when she wakes you up? Yeah. They don't like when I wake them up either.
Okay. Where did you go to school?
I went to college at Bowling Green State University. Before that, through elementary, middle school, and high school, we moved around a lot, so I went to a lot of different schools.
Okay. How was your childhood?
I had a good childhood. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and we got into a good amount of trouble together, and we had a good time. It was good. It was good.
And did you always teach at Buren?
Yeah, I did my student teaching and methods in other schools, but as a certified teacher, I've always been at Buren.
Bye.
Here at the Nightly Newscast, we have a lot of fun. So we've decided to prank some of our favorite teachers.
Sticky notes now, that makes sense. This is quite a bit.
Next up, we have an animation made by Easton. Next up, we have the interview with a principal with Keith.
Here we have Mr. Clark for a nice interview with the teacher segment, but this time it's principal. We're going to start out with the first question. So, why did you get into this career?
I decided to pursue being a principal because I was a teacher initially, and I really enjoyed that. But I wanted to make a difference for kids, not only in my classroom, but an entire school. So that's why I decided I'd be interested in being a principal.
What is it like the daily life of being a principal?
Well, every day is different. You never know what to expect. And that I like that. I like that I never know how one day is going to be versus another. I can schedule a day and have everything scheduled out perfectly, but sometimes that I can't follow that based on what happens and what kids need and teachers need. But I always try to make it fun, and I like to talk with kids and get to know them and help them solve problems.
If you were in a different job, what do you think that would be?
Well, I hope after I retire from being a principal, I really want to work as a barista at Starbucks because A, I like Starbucks, I like coffee, and B, it'd just be fun to do something I can just make people happy. Just make coffee and serve them drinks and make them happy.
If you had a superpower, what would this power be?
I think a good superpower would be to make people positive. So that take their negativity away and make them look at things positively.
So, where is your favorite place that you've ever vacationed to?
That's a tough one. I really like Tortola, which is in the British Virgin Islands. It's in the Caribbean. It has the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. It looks like something from a movie, and really cool landscape there. It was really interesting. So that would be one of my favorite places.
So, what's your favorite music genre? And at that, what's your favorite band as well?
That's a tough one, because I would probably say I like kind of classic rock. So I like Van Halen, lots of different groups. I really don't have a favorite group, I'll be honest with you. I like all kinds of music, and I like about everything except for country. I'm not a fan of country.
Same here. So, what's your favorite mainstream sports team?
I'm not a fan of professional sports personally, but I like watching college sports. I graduated from Bowling Green, and so probably have gone to the most Bowling Green games of any sports team. So I would probably say Bowling Green.
So, what color is your toothbrush?
I think right now it's green, if I'm remembering correctly, but I don't know. I don't really look at it. I just grab it out of the drawer and brush.
Okay, so 10 things off, just need to know, what is your favorite book?
My favorite book, that was a really good question. I would say it's a really good book actually. I read it for the first time when I was really young, and I don't even remember why. I think my mom had it, and I think I just one summer picked it off the bookshelf and read it. And it's called One Child, and it's by a woman named Tori Hayden. And she, I don't know if it's fiction or nonfiction, but she's basically kind of like a special education teacher, and she has a student that with a lot of issues at home, and she kind of breaks through to this student and really makes a positive impact on that child. So that kind of was something I really, it really touched me as a young person, and it's something I've thought about, and I've actually read it a few times since then.
So that's all the questions we have for now. So this is Mr. Clark. You likely already know him. He's everywhere in the school.
Everywhere.
So this is the guy that sees everything you do. So have a great afternoon. Back to whoever is coming up next. Good.
Does snow show like the Isley Newscast?
That fun was pretty ice.
Goodbye.